We can do a variety of buttonholes, as you can see here. In menu 2, we have all these different buttonholes that you can do. But most of the time, I like to do the square-ended buttonhole for all of my buttonholes. So we'll do that in menu 1. Choose that, and there you go. It shows you what kind of foot to use. This is the C foot. It has a little bitty C right there, but you can tell this is what it looks like in the picture. We're going to put our button into our buttonhole foot, lift this up like this, put the button in there, and push it down. Now this length is going to tell the machine how long to make the buttonhole for that button. On the bottom of the buttonhole foot, we can see these 2 channels right here. This is where the sides of the buttonhole is going to form, and right along here, this ridge is going to be in the center of the buttonhole. Let's put the buttonhole foot onto the machine. Hold your regular foot by all 4 corners and pull it forward like that. Let's put it down here into the accessory bin like that. And we put this on like this. Make sure you line that up, push it straight back, and it's on. Now we need to make sure that this thread is down through the stitch hole. There's an easy way to do that. I'm going to put this underneath here like this, just a piece of fabric. Take a single stitch and then lift up the presser foot, and I can pull my top thread right through. Let's put the thread tails off to the right. Now we need to pull the buttonhole lever down like this. Make sure it's all the way down behind this piece of plastic right here. Then push it to the back like that. That tells the machine that you're at the beginning of the cycle of doing a buttonhole. When you have a shirt weight fabric like this, you need to make sure and have something like interfacing in between the layers. That will help the buttonhole be nice and stable and to last a good long time. You'd also need to finish this raw edge. I have a different way of doing it on a front placket of a shirt. I just cut extra fabric and fold it twice. That way, the shirt fabric itself acts as the interfacing. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to test the buttonhole. It's important to do that on a piece of fabric that's not on your project so you can make sure that everything's right. So I'm going to mark my buttonhole. This is that center line. Remember I talked about that on the foot. That's going to line up with that center mark there. And then we do the beginning of the buttonhole right here. We don't need to do the end because the machine will know where to stop and do the other side of the buttonhole. Remember I talked about this lump of plastic right here? That's what we're going to line up this long line with. So if necessary, you can lift up your presser foot a little higher until you've got it just right. Line that up. Okay, now lower your needle down by hand and it should go right into that beginning mark. You can kind of see it from the side here. Also make sure that the edge of your fabric is parallel with the edge of the foot or with the lines that are on the needle plate. Okay, when you get started, keep your fingers gently on the threads. That's just to make sure that they don't get tangled up, but just for the first couple of stitches. So let's get started. Now it takes some stitches right at the end to knot off the stitches so you don't have to tie them in a knot. We can just push the cutter button and take our work out. Now we have these short thread tails on the end here. We don't want to cut them all the way down to the fabric, so I like to take my darning needle and send them through between the layers to the back. It's really handy to have one of these large-eyed needles like this. Put both thread tails through there and just pull them through like that. And then you can go ahead and trim them about 1/4 inch away. Now the beginning thread tails, you can trim those right down to the stitching because they are already anchored into the buttonhole. Now we just need to open the buttonhole and make sure that the button fits. So take a pin and we're going to put it right in front of that end bar tack to just kind of guard it as we're using our seam ripper to open the buttonhole. So start down at one end like this and then push this over to here, but not quite to the pin because we don't want to dull our seam ripper on that pin. Now flip it over, reset that pin to the other end. You can see where we've already opened it here. Start at the opposite end and go like that, so you open the buttonhole completely. Now I have another button. It's always good to have a second one so you don't have to keep taking the one out of your buttonhole foot, and send it through there. It's a little on the tight side, but that's okay, because we don't want our buttons to come unbuttoned by themselves. But if you wanted it a little bit longer, you can always make a little bit extra space by pushing that up 1 or 2 clicks. And then of course trying it again on your sample. Now once you're done making a buttonhole, to make your second one, make sure you push the buttonhole lever towards the back like that. Now we need to clean up the buttonhole. We've got these threads sticking out, and if you see any threads that go across like this, and you probably will, we want to make sure those are cleaned up too. A button could get caught on that and then make pulls in your fabric, so we want to make sure and clean all that up. Plus it makes a nice neat buttonhole once you have that cleaned up. And that's how you make a buttonhole. If you found this video to be helpful, give us a thumbs up. And if you have comments, questions, or ideas for other videos you'd like to see, let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.